One Piece Chapter 1153 Review. Yo guys, this might be the most important Elbaf chapter yet. Oda just gave us a full Norse myth retelling Elbaf's hidden royal bloodline, betrayal, prophecy, and the cursed child, Loki. Chapter 1153, titled The Birth of Loki, might seem like just a backstory. But trust me, this is the setup for the next major war arc, and possibly the birth of the final villain. So let's break it down, predict what's coming, and connect how this fits with Joy Boy, the ancient weapons, and Blackbeard himself. Let's go. Cover story recap. Ogre Child Yamato, Volume 37. We start with a great cover story. Yamato meets Kikunojo, who is now the daimyo of Ringo, alongside the Yakuza boss Ocho. This confirms that Wano is stabilizing post-Kaido, and the Scabbards are fulfilling their destinies. Expect Yamato's journey to mirror Odin's pilgrimage, and eventually bring him into Elbaf, where he may meet Loki himself. But the real story starts with a flashback to Elbaf. Harold's origin and the power of empathy. Young Harold, future king of Elbaf, is introduced as a spoiled, arrogant child, classic, born strong, setup. We get the mythological trope, the child who must learn humility. He sees Ida, a female giant, displayed in a human circus, and destroys the town to rescue her, only to be slapped, literally and metaphorically. Turns out Ida chose to stay and repay humans for their kindness. This shocks Harold, and changes him. This moment echoes Odin and Toki, and more importantly, Joy Boy and Shirahoshi. Right Finger Ida teaches Harold that strength without empathy is tyranny. And that lesson defines Elbaf's future diplomacy. Forbidden love, forced duty. Harold brings Ida home. He wants to marry her. But the elders of Elbaf, traditionalists, reject her for not being pure-blood Elbaf. So Ida lives alone. Harold becomes king. This is political tension. Elbaf is a powerful kingdom held hostage by ancient customs. Harold begins diplomacy with other nations like Ryugu Kingdom, becoming a ruler that seeks unity. But here comes the twist. While Ida gives birth to Hyrodine, the elders force Harold to marry Estrida, a noble giant obsessed with Dai Feng, a mystical, feng shui-style ideology. She's beautiful, arrogant, entitled, and deeply paranoid about fate. She becomes the womb of destruction, literally. The birth of Loki. Cursed from day one. While Harold is overseas, Estrida gives birth to a baby with demonic eyes like Sauron, a clear metaphor for the moon god or devil god concept. Terrified, she throws the baby into the underworld of Elbaf, ordering servants to tell Harold the child was stillborn. But then comes the legendary final double-page spread. Collision baby Loki, scarred, bleeding, crawling up the roots of the treasure tree. Adam, fighting through monsters, surviving on sheer will. He doesn't cry. He climbs. This is a biblical, mythological, and Joy Boy tier birth. Loki equals the rejected son, the cursed prince, the child of prophecy who will destroy the kingdom. Prophecy: the king shall die by his son. Estrida, now sick and panicked, mutters a terrifying line. Remove that child from this world, it has been foretold since before his birth, King Harold will die by his own son's hand. We get everything here. The Oedipus myth, the god of mischief Loki, the Blackbeard, Joy Boy contrast, and a setup for a civil war in Elbaf. Oda is showing us Loki will return. He will not forget. And his wrath will become prophecy. Foreshadowing a civil war on Elbaf. The current timeline, where Luffy is heading toward Elbaf, is just as Loki is becoming old enough to return. There are multiple factions forming. Crown Harold's diplomatic faction, Dragon Hyrodine, and the Ida camp. Drop of blood. Estrida's cursed legacy. Whole Loki, a rogue prince raised by beasts, born with possible mythical powers or ancient wool. And let's not forget, Blackbeard wants Elbaf. Imu fears Elbaf. Vegapunk's technology may end up in Elbaf. Loki will return to either become Elbaf's final king, or its destroyer. Loki vs Luffy, or Loki vs Blackbeard. Let's go big brain. Loki might be another Joy Boy candidate gone wrong, just like Blackbeard. Both were born cursed, abandoned, filled with uncontrolled willpower. What if Loki and Blackbeard cross paths? Or worse, what if Blackbeard adopts Loki as a weapon? Like how Doflamingo raised Baby 5 and Law. Loki, raised by beasts, could possess awakening-style conqueror's haki, void will or storm-based haki, a mythical Zoan devil fruit tied to Norse gods. Perhaps Jormungandr, the serpent destined to kill Odin. Loki's entire existence is Ragnarok in the making. Connection to Joy Boy, Blackbeard and the final saga. Now let's link this to the biggest themes. Joy Boy equals chosen liberator, free will. Blackbeard equals devourer of fate. Loki equals cursed reflection of inherited destiny. Oda is setting up Elbaf not just as a war arc, but a clash of ideologies. Can fate be rewritten? Can a cursed child be redeemed? What does it mean to be chosen? Loki is Zunesh's inverse. Not a carrier of Joy Boy's wool, but of the world's wrath. If he returns, the world may see him as a king, a god, or the final calamity. Calendar. When will One Piece end? This chapter tells us this level of backstory tells us one thing. Oda is wrapping up every piece of mythology now, Elbaf, the D-Clan, world government, and even the prophecy-based characters like Loki. With this chapter and Vegapunk's revelations, here's the likely timeline. Fire 2025, Elbaf arc begins, Loki introduced properly, Crossed Swords 2026, Blackbeard War, Imu Confrontation, Pirate Flag 2027, Final War, Laugh Tale, One Piece revealed, Sunrise 2028, Post-War Wrap-Up, Epilogue projected end, late 2027 or early 2028. So guys, what do you think? Is Loki a cursed Joy Boy? Will he bring Elbaf to war? Will he fight Luffy, or Blackbeard? Down finger comment your wildest theories below. Thumbs up like this if you believe Loki is about to reshape the final saga. Inbox subscribe, because the next 5 chapters might shake the world even more than Marineford. And always remember, every curse starts with a prophecy, but it ends with will.